Hey there, everybody. It is 2 hours UTC, and again, we're here doing Astronomy Daily Live. So, this is just a circle of friends gathering together every single day, turning off the TV, forgetting about the news, and thinking about a common passion that we all share for space and the sky and the universe, and trying to understand it a little bit more. And even if we don't understand it, we can sit back and just go, wow. You know, I mean, that's sort of my bottom line. Is that it's such an amazing place, an amazing experience, and just to sit back and go wow sometimes, not really even wonder about it, not really even try to understand anything else. um, science sort of begins with observation and just looking around, um, and seeing what's going on. I think in one of the episodes of Carl Sagan's Cosmos series, he talks about uh, how um, how the universe seems to operate, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but he he says, something like, if all things were just sort of randomly happened, and there was no regular patterns to things or anything else, there would be no science. And if on the other extreme, uh, everything was, completely predictable and knowable, um, instantly almost, there wouldn't be any science either. But he said that we live in an in between universe where, yeah, there are patterns, but they're complicated and mysterious. And sometimes I just like to, in fact, not even sometimes, I would say often, I just like to sit back and just absorb it all and just go wow, because um, bottom line, I think that's what a lot of this is all about. Just going wow, and you can add a lot of depth if you dive into things, do some science on them, try to gain an understanding. But ultimately, I'm gonna freeze my Linux machine so it doesn't, or freeze YouTube on my Linux machine so it doesn't freeze my Linux machine. Pop out the chat there. Come over here. Turn on my smartphone because it looks like Astronomy Daily Live is live. So, welcome everybody. Glad you could come in. It is now 2:04 UTC, and SpaceNet.tv just tweeted the fact that I'm on. So, thank you very very much about that. I was a little bit late posting the live stream today. Got distracted um, today to the extent that I just sort of took the day off. So I just had sort of a relaxing day and watching Star Trek Next Generation, which is it. I think. I mean, my my opinion of TNG is that there there are definitely some episodes that are pretty awesome, but I think overall it's really not all that great. And over the years, it just got worse and worse and worse. I was watching season 7 today, and yeah, I don't know. Just, I mean, I know my opinions sometimes offend, but uh, uh, you know they're my opinions, and take them with a grain of salt because it's just me. So, but TNG is pretty disappointing in terms of a Star Trek series overall. As I said, there are some really nice jewels in there, but as I said, I was watching season 7 today, and it seems to me that they were really sort of running out of material, and um, I don't know, things just got worse and worse and worse uh, as that series went on. So you know, good stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Cheers. Hello, Space TV. Hello, Mass Entropy. Nice to see you here. Good vibes. Good vibes. Yeah. Today for me was just sort of a lazy day. Sort of took took the day off, relaxed a little bit. Been hitting it hard recently, trying to characterize this telescope behind me, see if it can do um, the astrometric and photometric measurements uh, with very high accuracy and precision, and it's just it's a lot of mental gymnastics and a lot of code writing and yeah, just trying to get my head around uh, all of that. Still trying to understand a little bit about what I'm seeing as far as the photometry goes. Hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna hit that pretty hard again and hopefully come up with some kind of a conclusion because it's all I want to do is just parameterize this system, see see if it can do well, or just see how well it can do. So and then maybe sort of see if there are things that I can do while collecting data to improve um, the numbers I see. But so far, I'm not really at a point where I'm seeing the kinds of numbers. Well, I'm not really seeing any numbers yet because I had to step back and sort of redo how I was uh, putting the data together, and so that threw up a few obstacles. Whatever. But yeah, hopefully um, um, tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, TNG, Tin Man, and Defector. Space TV. I can't say as I can name any um, specific episodes in that series, but there were definitely a couple that were awesome, and yeah, maybe I should look up Tin Man and Defector. Do you know what seasons those were in? That might help me find them a little bit easier. Never got into Babylon 5. Um, the At the time that it was going, practically everyone around me who was involved in space or astronomy, just absolutely loved it. Just absolutely thought that it was the greatest thing in the world. And I asked them about it now, and most of them are like, yeah, I guess it wasn't all that great. So, but yeah, they're, hey, hey, hey. All right, I got to take care of some kitties. Hold on 1 second. Don't want any kitty wars during Astronomy Daily Live. That would be just a disaster. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so Tin Man was season 3, episode 20. Okay, I'm sure I'm sure that I've seen most of TNGs. In fact, I've seen most of the Star Treks uh, through Voyager. Haven't gotten into the new ones at all. I think I tried with a couple of them, and wasn't too impressed. Maybe just not in the mood. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. So, all right. Well, cool. Thanks for that info, Space TV. I will definitely check out Tin Man and the Defector. Interesting that they're both in season 3, so that's kind of interesting. As I said, most likely I've seen them, but off the top of my head, I cannot name them. Same with the original series. If I see a list of like the episode names, then I'm like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Um, Trying to think of there are a couple original series episodes that I think really stand out that aren't incredibly popular, and I'm not remembering what they are now. As I said, I would have to look at a list. Um, we can do that. We can do that. We have the technology. We have the technology to do that. Why don't we briefly what I sort of thought that I would do tonight is just take a look at Mars. I started this show talking about just sometimes sitting back and just looking and just going, wow. Star Trek original series. Star Trek the original series. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, I'm gonna as I said, Space TV. I've got to actually see a list in order to remind myself of my favorites. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Let's see production. Let's see. Does this list them? Let's see. We have to. I have to find a list of episodes with original music, awards, episodes. Hmm. Let's see if we can do it this way. I'm not seeing uh, list of Star Trek original series episodes. Here we go. Here we go. So let's see. Cage, of course, is a good one. Where No Man Has Gone Before. That one. Oh yeah, that yeah. So you know, the Cage was sort of the pilot, but then Where No Man Has Gone Before, that was sort of a pilot as well. And Trap is really good. Um, uh, Miri is pretty awesome. The Corbomite maneuver, that one most definitely is one of my favorites. The menagerie is one that everybody sort of points to as, the one of the best ones. I think it's okay. I think it's all right. Um, Wire of Gothos is pretty good. Arena, Arena. Do you remember Arena? That one is pretty awesome. That's the one where Kirk is transported to. Well, um, yeah, the Enterprise is alerted to the fact that I think one of the Federation's space stations, um, like remote space stations, are being attacked or destroyed, and they go to investigate. There's a chase, and Captain Kirk and the captain of the other ship, that was doing the attacking, uh, were transported to this planet, who knows where, um, and the captain of the other ship is like, this big, huge, muscular lizard-looking dude, and they have to figure out, how to destroy each other, and Kirk, he builds a cannon that injures this other uh, captain enough, and in the end, Kirk is supposed to kill him, but he doesn't, and blah 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 blah. So that one's good. Tomorrow is yesterday. I'm trying to remember which one that one is. The Return of the Archons. Okay, the Return of the Archons is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. There's Space Seed, which was sort of the prequel to the Wrath of Khan. Taste of Armageddon. Don't remember that one exactly. Devil in the Dark is pretty interesting. Of course, the City on the Edge of Forever. That's a popular one. Um, yeah, I think Arena definitely has some awesome Star Trek fight music, for sure. Sitting on the Edge of Forever, of of course. Let's see. A mock time. A mock time. Everybody really seems to like that one. That's where Spock, uh, you know, goes a little bit nuts because he needs to find a wife, and they go back to Vulcan. It's interesting enough, because you get your first taste of Vulcan culture. So that's okay. That's okay. The Changeling is really awesome. Mirror Mirror, I never really liked. The Apple, man, I don't remember. I don't remember the Apple. Hmm, don't remember the Apple. Doomsday Machine is pretty good. Um, Wolf in the Fold is pretty good. Everybody likes all the triple ones. I don't like the triple ones or the mud ones. Gamesters of Triskelion. That's pretty intense. That's pretty tense. Um, a piece of the action. Yeah, yeah. Very awesome. Um, Ultimate Computer. Assignment Earth. Fox Brain is pretty interesting. Fetcher of the Gun. For the World is Hollow and I have touched the sky. That one's quite nice. The Tholian Web, that's a pretty intense one. There's lots going on in that one. Wink of an Eye was interesting. That I remember when I first saw that one. That one really started, getting me thinking about time and sort of our relationship with time. Um, there was one I don't remember what it's called. It had the Medusan in it, and the lady who sort of yeah, the Medusan was an ambassador that was um, you know going to some kind of a meeting, and the Enterprise had to transport him, and uh, if you looked at the Medusan, you would go insane. So the person that um, was accompanying him was this blind woman who wore a um, a sort of a cloak that had all these sensors on it, and she was blind. She was blind, so she could never see him, um, but she could see with all the sensors, and she got jealous, and yeah. The Way to Eden, that's a good one. That's a good one. Um, Cloudminders, that's an awesome one too. So, what are my top three favorite space TV shows and movies? Hmm. Let's see. My three favorite space TV shows. Um, well, I'm gonna have to say that Star Trek: The Original Series is probably in my top three as far as TV goes. Um, trying to think of other space space related TV shows. Um, there's Battlestar Galactica, and uh, the original one of those came out when I was a kid, and I really, really, really liked those. Um, and I liked the concept, right? It was another thing where it was it was it was sort of a different perspective that you know humanity didn't begin on Earth; it began elsewhere, and expanded, and eventually found Earth. One of the 13 tribes. I think there were 13 tribes, and because of the Cylons, they were separated, and yeah. So I like the whole concept. I watched the original Battlestar Galactica now, and sort of like that was not very well acted, and the stories were a little not all that great. But at the time, I thought that they were pretty awesome. I think the first season of well, the first one or two seasons of the new Battlestar Galactica were really, really, really great. But then, to me, that sort of turned into a soap opera, and I'm not really into soap operas all that much. Um, so I'm trying to think um, of other space related TV shows, sort of sci-fi, right? Not necessarily space related, because I would say Cosmos is definitely um, way, way, way up there. If you want to expand a little bit more into that realm, James Burke did a TV series back in the I think it was the 80s, um, called Connections. He also did um, like um, Connections 2 and all of that later. But the original Connections, if you're into science and technology and you haven't heard of James Burke and his series called Connections, check check them out for sure. Here, I'm gonna unhide my, or I'm gonna stop sharing so you can see the ugly mug again. Um, so uh, check out Connections. The other um, series that I don't know if anybody's ever heard of at all. This was a series. I think it was done 70s, 80s or so. It was called The Secret Life of Machines, and again, you know, it's more of sort of a nerdy um, technology of sorts show where these guys just sort of did the fundamental things. It's like, you know, one show. Actually, watched one of these last night. Was on the vacuum cleaner, and you know, they take apart a vacuum cleaner, show you how it works. They um, they talk about the history of vacuum cleaners. You know what the need was, how those needs were being met, um, how, you know, the introduction of the electric motor helped in all of that, and so they showed, you know, how motors work. Really, really, really awesome. And Connections is a great study of history, and he has a lot of commentary in there um, as well. But you know, it's really, really amazing how um, you know, m- most of most of the advancements are a situation where somebody is just at the right time at the right place, and they are prepared, right? I mean, I talked about this the other night, where it's like, you know, success seems to be 99, maybe not quite that high. I would say 90% luck, right? Which is being at the right place at the right time. But that isn't enough. That isn't enough. What you really, really need is that third element, and that is being prepared. So you have to be at the right place at the right time, and you you have to be ready um, to, you know, uh, first, you know, be aware that there's a golden ring, and then have, you know, the wherewithal to be able to grab it and hold on to it, and um, Connections and sort of the advancement of technology is all about that. Cheers. So yeah, I'm trying to think of other space related TV shows. Um, uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. Let's see. In terms of movies, of course, Star Wars, Star Trek. Um, uh, I thought that even you know, movies like E.T. were pretty good, pretty good. Close Encounters, Close Encounters is very, very awesome. That whole idea, you know, behind, you know, sort of, you know, putting into the heads of some selected people, you know, that whole experience, um, for sure. trying to think of other space related uh, shows. You know, it's always a situation where it's like put on the spot, to try to remember things. It just it's gone. It's just totally gone. So I I will think about that a little bit, space TV, and get back to you, because yeah, there were um, a number of movies, a number of specific episodes, um, and a number of um, um, series and documentaries that definitely had an influence on me, and greatly enjoyed. Nope, never saw Red Dwarf. Never saw Red Dwarf at all. Is that something I should look at? All right. Well, very cool. Let's sit back and just take a look at Mars. Take a look at Mars. We've got a number of spacecraft up there that have gone there um, before, but we have at least two operational rovers up there right now, and a number of satellites. Um, one of them being the um, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter (MRO), and MRO. Oh, I'm going to share my screen here. Come on, always interfering. Okay, share my screen. MRO has on it an instrument called HiRise. And HiRise is a camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter that just takes pictures from the ground, or I'm sorry, not from the ground, from orbit, from near orbit. So resolution can get really awesome. We're talking about a third of a meter per pixel, so very high resolution um, images, and they have a catalog that is updated very often. So let's take a look here. This not the most up to date list, but they have a few up to date lists. This one's a little curious. I've never seen that before. They usually have sort of regular pictures. So let's see. This is called Corduroy Dunes. It was posted on the 14th of May, so just a couple of weeks ago. Oops, I apologize. This observation is currently unavailable. Wow. All right. The case of the Martian boulder piles. All right, let's take a look at that. So what I like to do, they usually, present these, but I like to look at the original sort of black and white, non-projected, just strips. So this satellite is orbiting Mars in more or less a polar orbit. So what they do is they fly over the surface of Mars, turn their camera on, and they get these big long strips, and that's what these guys are. So let's just take a look at the first one here. You can see what we're up against. So this is most likely a series of strips that have just been put together, but I just like looking at these dune fields. So this is the surface of Mars, and we can go back here and actually see what the resolution is. Okay, so 32 centimeters per pixel. So that's about 1 foot, right? So the smallest thing that we can see on here is, a couple of feet wide. So not too bad. So, something like this, right, is going to be a couple of 100 feet across. So I always like imagining uh, um, uh, walking around in these. I I do like colorized space images, but um, you know, colorizing things um, uh, is so subject, to interpretation, because um, yeah, it's just really really easy, to bring out certain features with color, and sort of suppress others. And I think that's really really nice. And color, of course, tells you a lot about about composition and texture and all of that. But I just like to look at the plain old black and white grayscale, because this is actually what the cameras are seeing. They are just seeing, light levels, and that's it. So, color is a thing, that we've sort of invented. Um, and uh, yeah, I just like to look at them raw. These are some interesting looking sand dunes, but look at the look at the texture here. Uh, Now, the thing that always gets me, and I can never tell. I can never tell, but since these are probably sand dunes, these are probably popping up out of the ground. But in some of the images of Mars and the Moon and other um, planets and moons that have topography, sometimes it's hard to tell if the features are popping up out or if they're going down in. So since these are dunes, these are probably popping out, right? So these are sort of the lower levels, and these are the higher levels. And as you can see from the shadows, it looks like the sun is coming in from the right, at a relatively shallow angle. But yeah, I sort of imagine uh, walking around down there and seeing these weird looking sand dune features, supposedly created by the wind over tens of thousands or millions of years, supposedly. Let's see if there's anything else interesting here. Ridges, big fans. Let's see what big fans are. Thanks for the link, Space TV. I will take a look at that. Alluvial fans. All right, cool. Alluvial fans. So let's see. So about half meter pixels. So not quite as high resolution as ones that we just saw, but looks like a bigger picture. So I like the whole thing to load, and then I start at the upper left and just sort of scan around, see what's going on. Look at that sharply defined ridge there. Pretty amazing. Looks like it's just been carved. these flat buttes. From the shadows, you can get an idea about how high all these are, and also get an idea. If you look at the kind of hard to see here, but you can sort of see the shape of the shadow on that edge, and you can get an idea of the actual shape of that edge. This one's really bumpy, but it looks like a this almost looks like a contour map or a topographic map. Here's some mountains down here, and you can see the shadows. Look at how complicated that ridge line is. Mars is amazing. Yeah, yeah. I can't either. I don't know if Cassini. I don't think Cassini got as high resolution images of Saturn's moons as HiRise is getting of Mars, but those are pretty good too. Yeah, that'll be extremely exciting to get some spacecraft actually orbiting those moons and getting in really close. In fact, sending some landers, right? The Europa Clipper is supposed to. Not, isn't that supposed to have a lander? Don't remember. It's a nice big crater. Again, with the shadow there, you can sort of see the variation in the edge here really nicely. Some interesting features, some boulders down here. So these boulders, see, are just on the edge at the limit of resolution. So, these boulders down here are 1 or 2 meters across or so. So, still pretty big, but pretty small from, seeing from orbit. Look at these parallel ridges here. Kind of cool looking. Here's some bright stuff. Don't know what that's all about. Maybe ice? I don't know. Okay, no lander on the Clipper. I thought there was. Shows how much I know. Be more dunes, dunes. Steep North Polar Boundary Scarp. Let's look at that one. So again, this is about one foot per pixel, 31 centimeters. Pretty amazing stuff. Mars is pretty amazing, and it's great, because now it's an actual place. It's not just a point of light in the sky anymore. It's an actual place where we've actually gone there, gone on to the surface, and traipsed around. And that's actually where I'm going to go next, is to the Curiosity rover. But let's look and see if there's anything else interesting. As you can see, there are almost 53,000 um, images in this catalog. And yeah, they're updated maybe once a month or so. We should actually be maybe expecting uh, a new collection to come out pretty soon. Outlet breach in crater wall. Let's look at that one. Oh, it looks like we've looked at this one before. Oh, we can look at it again. Okay, pretty cool. So if this isn't enough, this isn't wow enough. As I said, we've even got rovers on the surface. Look at all these little craters here, little tiny things that are, maybe 5, 10 feet across. You could stand in those and there wouldn't be much more room. So yeah, as I said, I always like to imagine walking around here and just imagining, what it would look like. But hey, we don't have to imagine. We can go to this site, which is the Curiosity rover site, and they've got a bunch of cameras on that rover. They have a couple of hazard cameras, which are sort of shown here, where they are. They've got some front ones, some rear ones. They have navigation cameras. They have a camera um, that's attached to sort of a microscope, so you can really get a zoomed in uh, idea. And then, of course, the wide field um, mass cam. So let's see, we can. So these are all organized, as you can see, by sol. A sol is just one Martian day. I mean, the Earth has sols too. It's called an Earth day. Uh, but a Martian day is a little bit longer than an Earth day. I think it's like 24 hours and 50 minutes, if I remember right. It's amazingly close to an Earth sol, but it's a Mars sol. So uh, as you can also see, Curiosity just passed its 2000th sol just a few days ago. Let's actually look and see. Can I do this? Oh, come here. Let's look at the 2000th one. If I can aim my. There we go. So the mass cam took 114 images on Sol 2000. So let's take a look at them. Not all of them are these big wide field things. Taking a look at the drill, it looks like. Mass cam right. Little brushes on the drill. Kind of interesting. These images here are used to calibrate their colors and also to get an idea of the solar angle. So uh, these were probably taken with 3 different filters, and these dots and stripes and all that down here. Well, we can click on one and see it. Um, all these things are actually different colors, but of course, science cameras, only see brightness levels, so you only have a grayscale. So if you want to be able to see color, you have to take images with different filters. You're looking in different wavelength bands, and of course, depending on what wavelength band you're looking in, your sensitivity is going to be different. So this is just a means to calibrate that. So all all these little features on here are different colors that they can then use to calibrate their um, uh, processing back on the ground in order to give us sort of either true color or false color images. And so yeah, today just looking at the ground, looking at rocks. There is the surface of Mars itself. Interesting colored feature here, or sort of darker feature here. And yeah, we can actually see little grains of dust. Thumbnails, they can put together to create larger images. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at the I think it's the ChemCam that's the real zoomed in one, I think. Oh yeah, HiRise can most definitely see the rovers down on Mars for sure. They can actually see the actual rovers and of course their tracks. Yep, for sure. So yeah, okay, that's just some zoomed in images of something. I don't know if they give any kind of description here or not. Not much of a description, but yeah, it's some kind of magnified view of just rocks. There's just lots of rocks. But as I said, I just like looking at these and just sitting back and going, wow. You know, let's look at the from one of the navigation cameras. So there's some pictures more of the horizon. Isn't that amazing? Definitely is a place for sure. It's not just this little point of light in the sky. It's definitely a place. Looks like the sun is over here too, either rising or setting. Don't know which. Taking a picture of the wheels. Cool. You can see in the damage that wheels have gone through. A lot of that damage was planned, but it's still not very nice to see any kind of damage, especially from an instrument like this that could potentially be operational for the next 20-30 years or so. Pretty amazing place, Mars, for sure. Anything else interesting here? We're looking down at some more rocks. Yeah, you can actually go, I think probably this site, if you go to the home page here, it'll actually, we can actually look at some, as something like where is curiosity now? Am I seeing that? Yeah, where is curiosity? And so these are HiRise images showing the paths. Let's see, let's go to the last page. 1989, 1996. Okay, yeah, no. Here we go. For Sol 2007. Okay, here we go. Um, so let's see, through Sol 2007. So these are images taken from the uh, HiRise. And let's see, can we, it's not going to help much. Mount Remarkable. That's going the wrong way. So this is the whole, you can sort of see the whole path. Okay. Curiosity landed here and has gone all the way up here to where it is right now. And this is sort of the latest and greatest sort of zoomed in spots. So these are Sol numbers, and yeah, we're really close to Sol 2007 now. Not quite sure why it says negative 4158, negative 4159. Not quite sure what those units are. Can't be meters. That seems a little, yeah, I'm not quite sure what the numbers represent. But yeah, that's where it is right now. Desert land. So yeah, that's where curiosity is right now. Right about there, you can sort of see they give you well, there's a latitude, there's a longitude. Okay, so where are we? We're at about longitude, what, 137.22, something like that, and about a latitude of -4 degrees south. So close to the equator. That was planned, of course. Yeah, that's the entire path. So that's very cool. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the raw raw images. Yeah, I think it's the altitude, but I don't know why it's negative. So not quite sure what the units are are there. So yeah, and I think there is a Google Mars, right? I'm pretty sure that there's a Google Mars. Let's look at the left navigation camera. See if there's anything interesting here. People have claimed to have seen all kinds of sort of strange looking rocks that look like, dolls and bones and all of that. And you know, well, can't be exactly sure, but we also know that, you know, if we look at clouds up in the sky, we can see bunnies and faces and, you know, all all kinds of things. So, you know, trying to say that, you know, we're seeing recognizable objects on Mars, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think our brains are sort of, you know, tuned to want to see things, right? Um, because there's an equivalent of MSL set for Mars, and all landers so far have. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Uncle Bill. So that's a nice horizon view there. Looks. I don't know if it's just out of focus or if we're actually seeing some mist, but you can also see, you know, in sort of the near foreground, or um, well, between, you know, the near and back, these interesting little formations here. So sort of looking down, it looks like more details on the ground. Doing a little selfie here. But yeah, these images just keep rolling in. It's rolling in, rolling in, rolling in. Yeah, you know, Uncle Bill, I think, you know, powered descent and powered landing is probably the way to go. But I I I always, you know, think back to Spirit and Opportunity and how they landed, right? They um, inflated, sort of like, you know, these big balloons, and they were basically just dropped, and they bounced and rolled for a while. I think that's awesome, but yeah, I think, you know, I think we're getting powered landings down pretty well, so I sort of lean that way. I don't know if this is one of the weather stations. I'm not exactly sure what we're looking at here, but some interesting details of the spacecraft itself. Here's that calibration target again. Pretty cool. Just a bunch of scattered rocks. The planetary scientist, geologist dream, though. And lens imager. See, there was quite a few here. Let's take a look. So I just like to share this with you folks. This is sort of a low key Astronomy Daily Live today. Sort of took it easy today. Didn't do very much. It's like, oh, what am I going to talk about tonight? Let's just go to another planet, see what's going on there. So pretty amazing, pretty amazing, pretty amazing place. So definitely check these out. You know, you could spend hours and hours and hours looking at all this data. And isn't it great? Isn't it great that, you know, we can just sit back, comfy on our desks, and be able to, look at the surface of another planet. I think it's just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, that we can do that. All right. Well, I think I'm going to get out of here for now. Glad everybody could come by. Really, really glad that I can share these kinds of things with you. I hope you enjoy it. I'm pretty excited about all these things. I think it is completely awesome. There's so much information to be gotten. Um, it's just absolutely fantastic. But I think I'm gonna get out of here for now. Oh, any ideas what happened? I I don't. Um, I thought that they were still on track in terms of sending an orbiter to Mars, India, that is. Haven't heard anything else. So yeah. Well, I think Mars is awesome, and yeah, I think you know the data that we're getting back from all of the spacecraft at Mars, not only um, the orbiters, but also the rovers on the ground. Um, yeah, don't get a lot of attention, and I think they should, because it's an amazing place, uh, pretty unique, and lots and lots to learn. Lots and lots to learn. I think the surface area, the total surface area of Mars, is about equal to the land area of Earth. So in terms of exploration, um, understanding, we have just scratched the surface, just barely, barely, barely. We've got so much more to go, and that's extremely exciting, of course. Um, so yeah, all right. I think I'm going to get out of here for this evening. Um, uh, definitely, definitely check you out again in a little less than 23 hours from now. Um, yeah, I think that's it. That's it for now. So have a great evening, a great day tomorrow. Make sure to share this around. I'm definitely trying to grow, the circle of friends um, who come in. I don't have any expectations of you having to attend every single day. Um, but yeah, check in a couple times a week. I think that's very, very awesome. This is just a fun, casual get together of friends from around the planet to talk astronomy for about an hour or so each day. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. You can set your notifications, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down. Yesterday I got 4 thumbs down. So I think that's very, very awesome. I like reaction, and I'm not necessarily interested whether it's one of these or one of those. I'm interested in the absolute value. So, getting a reaction is sort of where I'm at this point. Um, so yeah, hit the thumbs up, thumbs down, make some comments. If you have any ideas in terms of topics or anything else, you can send me an email, cosmiclettuce@gmail.com. You can make a comment over on my Discord server. Link is down there in the description of this video. Um, don't know if you noticed, but I've changed my the thumbnails um, uh, to sort of not have sort of just the same each time, but now the thumbnails for the video show the date and show the topics. And I think, I mean, it's the same thing that is in the title, but I think that people might not see those as well, um, as if they're actually on the graphic itself. So I think I'm going to continue doing that. Just trying to get better and better and better every single day. So and talking astronomy every single day. So all right, peace out. I'm gonna get out of here for now. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. Spread the word. Spread the word. I know the regulars here are doing as much as they possibly can. So I greatly appreciate that. Space TV, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for um, 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 the support. And yeah, I'm still thinking about doing like a twice a day thing, so I can hit Europe as well. So still thinking about that a little bit. Um, but yeah, I think that's probably going to happen here soon. Um, yeah, just have to sort of decide to start doing it. Oh, make sure to check out today's music. I'm from the Hearts of Space. Um, Definitely one of the better ones. Some nice vocals this time around. So, and it's free on Sundays. Um, Probably even at this late hour here, it's probably still running free. So definitely check them out. All right, I'm gonna get out of here for now. Peace. Cheers. I will see you on the spin. Don't get too dizzy, and I'll see you about 20 million kilometers. I don't know which way. That away, out there somewhere. So see you in a little less than 23 hours and 20 million kilometers from now. Don't get dizzy. Hold on to your hats. The spacecraft is still, I don't think, has come down yet. So we're watching that. Live long and prosper. And I will see you. I can do it with both hands. All right. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.